Where's the video? Now, okay. I couldn't see it.
I don't think it shows
Man,
us.
I wanted to see it. Casey's upping the production level of the In Ring Wrestling podcast, and he found this just snazzy, computerized, open. It looks incredible. I just watched it. I watched it on my phone today, and I was like, "Holy moly, this is amazing!"
Yes.
And I just wanted to see it. So now I'll watch the open of the show. Hi, everybody! It's another edition of the In Ring Wrestling podcast. I'm Kevin Kelly. I'm the sidekick, and the guy to my right, maybe your left, the one and the only Casey Thompson, who he came up with this idea just over a year ago. We debuted, in fact, 53 weeks ago. If we go another 30 weeks, you know what I'm saying. We too
Yeah,
could
we
be
will.
83
Yeah.
weeks.
I don't think it went on, so I'm gonna have to practice more.
Mm. All right. Well,
I can play it now, though.
can you?
Yes, live. And let's see if it'll play. I don't
Oh,
think it'll play for us.
yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
I don't see it yet.
This is the new open to the show.
Dude, that's like being in a movie theater.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So we got we became little boxes to the
Yeah, I saw
left.
that. It showed, but it had a black screen for me.
Yeah,
I'm still a little box for some reason. I don't know why.
I know.
That's not fair.
No.
You go to. I've been playing around with the inner workings of everything here, so it might get scary. Layout. Here we go. I can
I'm
change the layouts.
I'm
There we go. I'm
ready.
gonna go back to this. I'll come back in a second. Not available when. Oh well.
Well,
What's it
wait a minute.
say? While recording, visual effects can't be changed. Am I still little on your side?
Oh yeah, I'm still little too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably screwed everything up.
We're just gonna be little guys. All right, so let's um let's get into the news of the week, which doesn't really have to do with any wrestling promotion because it was sort of a non-week. Yeah, there was an AEW pay-per-view last night, and um I didn't care. Samoa Joe won the belt. Show was supposedly pretty good. Um and WWE did some stuff with people things. The only thing that I noticed this week, Casey, and I don't know if you saw this, is Becky Lynch giving Adam Pearce what for on social media.
Oh,
You know,
really?
as the he's the general manager of Raw, and she's not happy with who's been on her team, and he's
Okay.
he's
Getting a
wait
little
a minute, we're
bigger.
moving around.
I'm trying to move them over.
Now I'm a
Okay.
circle.
I'm the circle.
No, I'm a circle.
Oh, it's a circle for me though. It's only let me move it over one at a time.
Oh man,
I'm almost where we.
I don't mind being a circle.
Oh. Well, I'm the little guy now, but it definitely will mess everything up for the shorts. So
All
as
this.
Kevin continues, I will
All right. So you play
try.
around, and I'll kind of get
Yeah,
into the I'll get into the
I'm
news of the
listening.
week and how to
Okay.
me it all ties into wrestling. Um, we are living in a time now, and we have been in this time for a while, but I've never realized how hyperbolic it is, how loud it is. And that's when a team is underachieving and the fan base wants the coach fired. Okay. We are
Hmm.
living through that all throughout college football now. And I'm a huge fan of college football. Yes, I'm a Florida State grad. Of course, I love the Seminoles best of all. But I will watch any game any day. I'll watch the MAC on Wednesdays. I love me some Friday night football. I'll do Saturday the whole day. And now, with so many big programs firing their coaches and just giving millions upon millions of dollars to buy out the coach, we don't want you here, so here's $70 million to go away.
I'll
Now
be
they're
right
going
back,
to have
Kevin. I'm going out, coming back in.
you go.
I'll
You
be
do your
right back.
thing. So then they pay the coach $70 million to go away, 50 million to go away, whatever the amount is. Then you got to hire the new guy. And you pay him 10 to $12 million a year. I heard Lane Kiffin is getting offered like $13 million a year. Let's remember now, you got to pay the players because we're in a whole new world now. And the idea of the coach being the highest paid guy, that's not going to sit too well. And that's always been one of the things with the NFL is that the
Still a
coach,
little guy.
we're still little guys. It's all right. I like it though.
The hell?
I don't
I've
know, man.
ruined the whole entire.
What
No
if
more
you
show
play
opens.
the open again? Maybe it'll go back to where it was. Hey,
Hey, there we go. But I think there's 3 of us now, though. Oh well, it's
no,
better than what it was.
there's only two of us,
Okay,
except
you're
we're
right.
on
You're right.
opposite sides, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Case,
So you'd
as I
have to
was
leave
saying,
and come back in order to change all that, but we're okay.
that's fine. Um, so
Okay,
the news,
perfect. I'm not
of the
touching
week,
anything else. Sorry,
no
everyone.
more, no touchy. But that video open is amazing. I freaking love it. As I was saying to the folks, Case, um, we're in a world where now college football fans are going crazy, and the minute the team doesn't do well, doesn't make the playoffs, struggles, loses a couple
Right.
games in a row, they're ready to, send the lynch mob out. Well,
We were
I
talking
off
about that a couple weeks ago too, right?
it's gotten
Because you
worse.
talk because it's millions of dollars worth
Yeah,
of to buy them out, right? You were saying?
50 million to buy out uh, the Florida State coach.
Gotcha.
They the LSU buyout is 54 million, and they are they're going to wind up in court over this because Brian Kelly, the former coach, says pay me the whole thing, and LSU is saying it's for cause. So now it's like an unemployment
Oh.
hearing, except
Oh, geez. So they're
we're not
trying
talking
to
about,
not have to
yeah,
pay them.
of
They want to
course,
fire them without the buyout.
exactly.
It sounds
But
like a WWE contract.
thank you. It sounds like to me people need to start reading the fine print and
Right.
need to start understanding what contracts are all about. And they need to start understanding that when you pay people to do a job, that they are on the clock. And that if you're a booker, if you're a wrestler, it doesn't matter. The only position that is immune from this is owner.
Yeah,
If you own the team, if you own the promotion, if you own the territory, you're fine. You're going to get paid
exactly.
either way. And what we're seeing is fan base upset, people not understanding the lay of the land, not reading the fine print. Look at Andrade. Andrade now has realized he can't wrestle anywhere. He was about to wrestle a Crash in Tijuana and pulled out of the show because
Oh,
either his
really?
lawyer or somebody said to him, "Hey, man, did you read your contract? Because it really says not just not wrestling in the U.S., but wrestling anywhere."
Wow. Yeah, but also, if he fights it in court, I think he will win
I agree.
because they're not employees; they're independent contractors. So
Correct.
you can't tell an independent contractor, once you start telling them what they have to do, where they have to be, what they have to, it changes from from being an independent contractor to an employee.
Right. So this takes us down a slippery slope, but I
Yeah.
think the road that is paved with gold for wrestlers. Now, Casey, you and I have been around the block and we've heard it all. We've seen most of it. We've heard all of it. Most of it, 99% of it, bullshit. But
Absolutely.
and how many times have you heard, you know, we ought to get a union?
Oh gosh.
Okay?
Yeah.
I am telling you that the time is right for wrestlers to start organizing.
Yeah. Could be.
They need collective bargaining.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
we're
that's true.
talking about. It's collective bargaining. This way, there are no gray areas.
Sure.
Well, everybody's free to negotiate their own contract, but you know what are given standards. Okay. So if you play in one of the four sports leagues in the United States, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, you're covered under a collective bargaining agreement. And that says the owners and the players share in revenue. How much percent is up to each league? If
Right.
there's TV money, we share that. If there's merch money, we share that. And the percentages are all known, public record. And if the league says we're not making enough money, if the players say we're not making enough money, they'll offer to go back to the bargaining table, sit down, tear up whatever agreement they have, go again,
Right.
and that's where you get work stoppages. Okay? Now, we are in a time where wrestlers cannot make money. The wrestlers of today, they're no longer paid on the house. They are paid a flat rate
Right.
salary. Whether they wrestle once or 500 times, it doesn't matter. And they are employees more so than ever before, but they have no employee protections.
Right.
And I am telling you, the more I read these things and the more I see this deal, it's going to happen in college football.
That's crazy.
Now, because now they're paying the players.
Yeah.
And now the universities that are paying the players are like, well, wait a minute. These are only 1 year contracts. And at the end of the season, the player can leave and go somewhere else and play over there for
Right.
more money. So what does the university have to do to protect themselves? They can't say we're not going to pay money because
Right.
somebody will pay it, right? That's what always happens. So you have to have collective bargaining. Both sides will want it in college football.
Sure.
And Casey, as you and I have talked about, I don't think TKO wants to get anywhere near collective bargaining with the wrestlers of the WWE.
No, no, not at all. Wow, it's just, the NCAA allowing the NILs and everything has literally ruined
Yes,
amateur sports. We've
completely.
even seen it. I even see it in amateur college wrestling.
Hmm.
There's wrestlers making millions of dollars a year to go wrestle for like Penn State or Iowa. But the thing is, there's only a handful of those programs that have that kind of money to offer. So you have some colleges that are Division 1 wrestlers that aren't getting anything,
Correct.
because they can't, afford that stuff. So
And
it's
so
it's kind of an
if say
unfair bargaining for all the athletes, really.
right, and so if let's say somebody from what was the school that Chase went to? What's the name of it again?
Franklin and Marshall.
Franklin and Marshall. Let's say, and that's a D1 school for
Yeah,
wrestling.
right.
Let's say any weight class doesn't matter. Wrestler has a great season and they catch the eyes of an Iowa or a Penn State or a Oklahoma State. I don't know if they're still a top-notch program. Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Penn State is the number one.
Penn State, Iowa, and Oklahoma State.
Okay,
Those are the top three.
so there's your top three. Well, all of a
Yeah.
sudden, this young wrestler, who wasn't making any NIL money, yes, he got a scholarship to go to a private school, and the school's expensive. Maybe not a full scholarship, maybe a partial. Now, not only is he going to get a full ride, but he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
And that's intriguing. So now the little guy, the smaller program that's also on the Division 1 level, but again, it is not a level playing field, as Casey's saying,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
they lose out. And it's not like the wrestler is going pro. It'd be
Right.
one thing if the WWE was dangling the carrot and said, jump to the pro ranks. You won't be able to wrestle amateur anymore because you're getting paid, but
Right.
you can come to the WWE and you'll make lots of money.
Yeah.
And wrestlers would do that, and everybody within college wrestling would say, "Wow, that's cool, good for him." It wouldn't give
Yeah.
one school an advantage over the other.
Right. Yeah. It's absolutely
And
bizarre.
so that's where we're at. And
Yeah.
every athlete is going to be at some point faced with the question, do we stay in a situation where we have no negotiating power and we are not getting paid what we feel our
Right.
worth
Yeah.
is? Because let's look at the TV contracts for pro football. Well, that's factored into the collective bargaining.
Yeah.
And the salary cap jumps up every year. We're talking, 30 teams. And it's going up 20, 30 million dollars every year.
Yeah.
That mean and salary cap is collectively bargained. In baseball, there's no salary cap, and the players don't want it at all because they're making shit tons of money.
Money. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Casey, and we may have talked about this on a previous episode, but for those of you who are just joining us late, um, the averages for revenue sharing in most of the sports, it's somewhere between 40 and 50%, let's say. Okay.
Right.
Round numbers means in the NFL, 50-50, 45-55, whatever the split is.
Right.
Take a guess as to how much pro wrestlers get paid. Now, we're talking about the TV wrestlers that are under contract.
Right.
What percentage of guaranteed TV money do the wrestlers share in through their salaries? Because remember, there's no collective bargaining.
I would guess probably 10 to 12%.
You would be quite high. The number is
Oh,
actually 4%.
wow.
4%. And it's going down every year
Yeah.
because while wrestlers' contracts are going up, there are fewer wrestlers as the WWE, excuse me, excuse me, as the WWE has some of their older stars aging out, they are not going to be looking if let's say John Cena gets 15 million a year.
Right.
I've heard Roman Reigns gets 12 million a year. Great.
And barely wrestles even.
Barely wrestles, right? He's on a limited schedule and he makes that kind of loot. Let's say Randy Orton makes the same. Do you think that when those guys go away, they're going to be just automatically putting Braun Breaker into that tier of pay?
No. Why would they have to?
They don't
Braun
have to.
Breaker's wrestling for, say, 1 million a year right now.
Yeah. If he's
Take it
making,
or leave it.
yeah, if he's
That's what they're going to tell you because there's
exactly.
no collective bargaining.
And where else are they going to go? They're going to go to
Yeah.
Tony. Okay. Well, Tony Khan only has so much money, and I don't mean this like that, but I mean he only has so much roster, so much capital, so much time that he can invest.
Well, don't really know about that. He has people on the roster he probably doesn't even remember just getting a check.
I
And
know
he always can make a new championship. That's in the news too.
that is true, and we will talk about that here in a little bit. But what okay, so let's say when Ricochet left WWE, he was making whatever he was making, half a mil, a million a year. And let's say he's jumped over to AEW and he's making about the same. Let's
Right.
just say, okay. And he's in about the same spot that he was in WWE, maybe a little more. I'm sure he's happier because it's not the pressure cooker that WWE is.
Right. It's like the wild, wild west
Yeah.
compared to, you know, the military.
Hmm. And that's with Vince running it. Let's
Right.
remember now that I think there is I think there's a little looser atmosphere with Triple H at the helm. I've heard that from a few people, but that
Hmm.
doesn't mean it's, Sunday picnic. It's
Right.
still, we've got to be on our best behavior and we got to make sure that, because we never know who's watching. And wrestler paranoia is a true disease.
Right.
Um, so the point that I'm making with all of this is wrestlers compared to the television contract money are proportionally underpaid tenfold compared to their other fellow pro sports league members. Okay?
Right.
Same type of athlete, different sport. Hockey player makes, collectively bargains less than football because the TV contract is less.
Right.
But they get a bigger percentage of the gate because they're selling like 95% of the tickets to see them live because it's a great draw. And so they share different pots of money.
You
And
wanna
with
know
the
what's even
NFL,
crazier?
huh?
Is the WNBA gets a higher percentage share than WWE.
Yeah. And again, they're owned by the NBA.
Right.
So they now exerted their will. And I'm not saying they did anything wrong because again, if any sports company, any wrestling promoter wants to pay wrestler A or basketball player B, I don't care. If you want to pay him $100 million a year, go right ahead.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me. I'm happy for them that they're making this money.
Sure.
Um, if you want a return on the investment, well,
Yeah, exactly.
ah. um, so the idea that wrestling is going to be entering into this world and this conversation of collective bargaining is coming
Yeah. It
because
should.
this Andrade story is catching attorneys' eyes.
Yeah.
And what they are realizing is that wrestlers are not represented the way they should be, and that things that have primarily just been done on an extension of a handshake for more than the past 30 years and over the last
Yeah.
20 years have been contractually negotiated, but how
Right.
closely does the wrestler read the contract? And who's
Yeah.
there to protect the wrestler? That's where it's going. I
Yeah.
guarantee it.
I
Maybe 5 years.
you're
Now,
hey,
and I just want to say this. So, how many times in wrestling have you, over the course of your career case, heard another wrestler talk about a union is forming, or we're going to get benefits, or we're going to get guaranteed money? We're going to share in the profits. I've heard this
oh yeah.
untold number of times.
Yeah. And everyone just laughs it off. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
sure. Jake Roberts was singing that song. You remember that? Did you hear about that
Yeah.
deal in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, they're building the building
Mm-hmm.
right now. They're building a lot of buildings in Vegas, Jake. Shane Douglas. Oh, you should sign this contract. Boys were like, "What?" Yeah, Road Warrior Animal was on that train as well.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the two of them, I think they were working the same angle. I'm not sure if it was for the same deal. They might have
Yeah.
just been partners in that. I'm not quite sure. Um, I never heard too much more than that. And I had a conversation with Shane Douglas about it. And when I
Right.
was in Ring of Honor, and I agree with what Shane said by and large overall. And I said, that's fine. We have to find representation who are willing to sit down and help with the wrestler with the collective bargaining part.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we've taken care of all of that now. I don't know about that, pal.
Well, the problem
And
is you have wrestlers trying to come up with this when it should be attorneys that's their field, their expertise, not
correct.
a, you know, a locker room lawyer. Or maybe who's the Harvard lawyer from WWE that wrestled?
Oh, David Atunga.
Yeah. He's been going over the contracts, reading them and talking about them a lot. He has a podcast now and he's been talking about them and
Yeah,
pretty interesting stuff. And he was talking about, you know, TKO might not want to take um Andrade to court because they're gonna lose. You
right.
know, he's like he was I was amazed when I was and I know about it, but it's different when you hear it from someone that's educated from Harvard, institution like Harvard that, that's what his field is, contract law and stuff like that to
Yeah.
hear all the stuff. I wonder, you remember Chris Qualman?
Yes,
Yeah, he was an maybe we should talk to him one day about this. Um, he
that's
was
a
a,
good idea.
contract attorney, entertainment attorney, and he had some WWE clients, Billy Gunn and a few other guys over the years.
He read over the first contract that I got from WWF in 1996. I had Chris read over it.
Oh, really?
And he was like, "Yeah,
Okay,
there's absolutely nothing to this contract. And if they let you go at the end of a year, you get to keep your name." It's pretty much all it said.
really?
Yeah,
And that's
announcers don't.
changed now, probably, where they
I,
keep everything. I
sure.
mean, they
And
keep the likeness, like a catchphrase you might develop yourself because they own the image, like everything of it, they own. So you can't take anything. You're apparently they own your, which I find it really weird. They own your outfits and everything, but
right.
you have to pay for your own outfits.
Yes.
You know,
Right. You find your
it's
own seamstress.
it's like a win-win for the man himself.
I know. Yeah. And so when wrestlers leave the WWE and we see them on the indies, seen it umpteen times over the
Sure.
years. They leave the WWE and they get a high price because curiosity fans want to see them first time go around. And boy, their matches suck
Oh,
because
sure.
they don't know how to walk, talk, do anything without people telling them what to do. And part of
Sure.
it is the paranoia of what do they own and what do I own?
Right.
Because if a wrestler, you know this case, a wrestler is like, wait, if I grab them a certain way, if I
Yeah.
instead of picking them up by the head with my hands on their ears, but if I pick them up with under the chin and on the top of the head, and that's what I did in WWE, are they going to
Yeah.
sue me? Remember Damian
Yeah.
Sandow? This is a remember how he used to hold the microphone? He held it like he was drinking like a wine glass, and it was the first
Right.
time, like a brandy snifter. He had it in his hand, and
Did
I
they
was like, "That's
trademark that?
I don't know." It's brilliant though that he
Yeah.
came up with this. He's the only one to have done it. I have to look and see if he does it on the NWA because that's where he
Right.
is now. If he
Right.
does, then all bets are off.
But
But
then you have some guys that really don't care. They're like, "I don't care.
yeah,
Advertise me as that name, this or that," because the chances of like a small independent, say, um, I can use Billy Gunn for instance. You know, when he first left, he wrestled for me. He's like, "Yeah, use Billy Gunn. I don't care."
right.
What's the chances of someone in WWE finding out, sending it for just like a little show, So it's one thing if it was TV or something like that, but just on a little indie show, um, I guess the chances really probably aren't high, but you never know. But there's some guys that are real sticklers about all that, and some people just blatantly don't care
Yeah,
because they want to make a living.
Chaz and Glenn never really cared. They were always
Right.
advertised as Mosh and Thrasher, the headbangers, and I don't think the
Yeah.
WWE ever said anything to them. And now they're on
No.
Legends deals, so they're
Yeah. What's the
advertised as that all
legend?
the
Do you
time.
know what the Legends deal consists of?
I don't. I think that it's
Is it a
a
I wonder if it's a, basic, like, everyone has the same deal, or is it who they are? Does it change? Like, there has to be a monetary, um,
there's
there
a
has to be
floor. There's a floor
yeah.
to it. So let's say Ron Simmons.
Mhm.
Okay. Ron Simmons on a legend deal, Sergeant Slaughter on a legends deal. Because of the generations that they wrestled in, because of Sarge being a bigger singles draw than Ron Simmons, but
Right.
Ron Simmons being more current because of DAM and because of the APA,
Right.
does it all wind up coming out about even? Probably,
So they get
and
a monthly check,
yeah,
and I know they get their, they're getting their action figures and stuff like that, but I've been hearing, I'm sure you've heard too, that TKO has been, like, lowering the percentages or the amounts now are dropping down and everyone, from Kevin Nash all the way to you name it, are complaining about how
Sure.
much they've made. Like on Stevie Richards' show, he's like, "Yeah, I got mine, and I can't even buy myself a value meal at McDonald's with it from his quarterly check."
Yeah. Well, the first one of those royalty checks that I get will the next royalty check I get would be the first because I was an announcer. And the Jesse
Right.
Ventura rule, um, made sure that announcers could never get royalties. But the trade-off was we got benefits.
Right.
We were employees, which was nice. That did help
Yeah.
because when I got let go, I was able not only did I get a severance, 1 month for every
Oh,
year that I
really?
was there. Yeah. So
Oh,
that was
really?
nice. Yep.
Wow.
One month for every year that I was there. So it was 6 because I hadn't hit 7 yet. But
Yeah.
then I was able to get unemployment. And it
Oh,
helped
wow.
because
Yeah.
it took me 13 months to get another job. And the
Oh,
job wasn't in
wow.
wrestling. So
Yeah.
it
Mm.
was it was tight. Um but I think that when you're looking at those legends contracts and the percentages. Now, there was a and these things pop up on Facebook on the random. I don't know how or
Right.
why, but I've seen this a few times. The letter, the fax that Vince sent to Warrior in 96
Yeah. Yeah.
or 97, whatever it was,
A half
750 a
million or
year,
something. So, yeah. So, yeah.
750 a year guaranteed, 14 dates a month, and 35% of his royalties.
Wow. That's a big number for the percentage of the royalties.
Yeah, usually it's 25. I know it was 25 in Ring of Honor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Some guys made decent. They made that because they sold a few shirts. Some guys
Right.
didn't make anything. I mean,
Now,
think
with
about
Ring
the
of Honor, they were built around selling their videos.
back in the day,
Now,
yeah.
no one got anything off the videos, I take it. That all went
No,
to the company.
right. And the thought process was we're giving you exposure and I think there was a little bit of a trade-off. Yes, we will pay you your rate, which was usually pretty decent. I know that when guys were getting paid by Kerry Silkin, so that was post Gabe, Rob, Doug Gentry. Okay. When the
Yeah.
company first started, it was those three guys. Then uh, Doug passed away. Rob got in trouble, and it was just Gabe. Kerry came in with the money. I know that the highest paid guys made 600 a night. So Roderick Strong, Austin Aries, I would assume Tyler Black. Those guys made 6 bills a night when they wrestled.
Right.
And I don't I don't know if and they probably had some sort of percentage, but I don't know if they got a percentage of DVD sales. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe they did. And then when it was Sinclair, I know that the guys were getting 25%, but there was a little bit of negotiating room. You could negotiate that number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So some got,
Hmm.
some got more. And we were kind of still working off of the same Kerry Silken pay rate, pay scale. Then I left in 2017 and all of a sudden they decided that they were going to, 2018, 2019, they were going to compete with everybody. And they started paying guys a lot of money compared to what they had been
Wow.
paying. Still less than the market, but
Right.
nevertheless, they started paying guaranteed money to people that, what? Who are you giving this money to?
Right.
And then COVID hit and the company folded and got sold to Tony. Um,
Wow.
so
Mm.
yeah, everything kind of like has an evolutionary flow to it, and
Right.
I'm sure that this one will too. But I think about it like, and I hear these stories all the time about private equity firms that buy companies up and they
Mhm.
squeeze the profits out of them, and then when there's just the husk, the decaying corpse laying on the ground, they move on and they're on to the next,
Yeah.
and they don't care. Um, I worry that that's going to happen to WWE. Now, this is where Tony Khan and his blind benevolence is a good thing.
Right.
It's like he's paying the wrestlers too much and he's too nice of a guy and he doesn't fire anybody. Well, you know, that's not that bad of a thing if your competitor is
Right.
squeezing every dime of profit and then
Sure.
is going to, you know, look to kill the whole business because they've made all the money they can. Just sell it off. Sell pieces of it off. Who cares? I don't know. All right. So there's a new title, more titles than a library.
Oh, mine?
In well, it
Yes.
is fitting that one of the big stories that we've been kind of following, and it goes back to the old days for me because of your new championship belt collection, which is so
Yeah.
beautifully displayed behind you. It's the second week we've had it, and a
Yeah.
couple of new beauties found their way in this week, Case. And
Yeah.
if you could talk
Yeah.
about them a little bit, I would love it.
I actually, um, I did. You see on YouTube the belt reviews. So I did
Hmm.
one and put up on our page for the right up here,
Yep.
the Southern Heavyweight Championship. I did that, and um, just absolutely beautiful. I
That's
mean,
gorgeous.
everything was just gorgeous about it. And the other one I got was the down here is the Georgia Championship Wrestling television title, and
Hmm.
then the other one I got. I'll just take that out.
Yeah. Now we're talking. The
It's
stepping
heavy.
stone to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, proudly worn by wrestlers far and wide.
Okay, here we go.
I came back to Florida to win my championship back. Champion of Florida. There it is.
Yep, is the Florida
Oh.
Heavyweight title, and I tell you what, um, I was probably 14 years old,
Hmm.
15 years old, sitting in church thinking about this belt right here. I swear to God.
Man, I believe it.
And I was like, I was thought about how can I have it and how can I make one my own to have? Can I go to a trophy shop and have it engraved, this and that? So I worked this summer job where I was making maybe like $7 an hour, which doesn't seem like a lot now, but this is back in the 80s.
Right.
And I was baling hay in the middle of the hay fields back
In Florida.
in Orlando, Florida, out on the
Oh,
Highway 436, which goes out to the airport, which used to be
yep.
owned by T.G. Lee Farms. Now it's all hotels and everything.
Right.
So I remember I saved up. I probably had like $400 or $500 saved, which is a lot of money. And
Sure.
I remember once my dad came in, was like, "Hey," and my brother came in. "Hey, we need that money because we have to buy your brother a car for college for school next year." And I'm like, Of course, we'll give it back to you." Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
so. Um, I took a video of this when I got it, and I sent it to my brother. I said, "After 40 years of me saving, you guys stealing my money, I finally got it." He hasn't replied yet.
No?
No, I
I
don't know
think that
why.
that belt is
And
beautiful.
ironically, I do have another one coming from a belt maker overseas. This one I bought off of eBay, and the guy showed the pictures. When he showed it, he showed stuff like this that showed the stacking on it
Yeah.
and how it's stacked on top, that both aren't stacked
Yep.
and everything. And this is the exact same color scheme because some of them have gold in it, which they might have had two versions. But this is like the identical one.
God, that's just gorgeous.
You can see how it's stacked
Yep.
in it. I mean, it's just exactly like it was back in the day, you
Yeah.
know? And so, because,
Except
you can see those famous pictures where Mike Rotunda had it crossed them like this, and
mm-hmm.
so I bid on this on eBay, and I was like, "This is the belt right here. This is the belt. This is my." There's so many championship belts that you can get. everyone's onto these spinner belts, all this. Now, me, it's all about. To me, this is my holy grail that I get excited for. That this belt right here, and I'm a type of person that I don't care if they're not brand new, all because they look like they're more ring used when they have a little of you know,
The
wear and
leather is
tear
a
on them.
the leather is a little broken in,
Yeah, so
and that is
um,
leather, correct?
oh yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely leather. So it was on eBay, and I was bidding on it. I'm like, no one's bidding. All of a sudden, someone started trying to bid against me, so I just put mine up so high, and I had all the notifications set. And I'm like, I'm not losing it because I want this belt. Like, it's just so it's really cool. It's a really really fun hobby um for me. Let me grab this other one.
Yeah. Now this one, you'll notice as Casey brings it down that there are stylistic similarities.
Ooh,
There are similarities in the design of the first belt that Casey showed, which was the Florida heavyweight title, and then this, which is
ee,
Southern.
Southern heavyweight.
And this was the Florida version of the
Yes.
Southern title.
They had two versions in Florida. They had this one that has it's all of them all the Southern titles are five plates,
Mm-hmm.
and there's all red. And then there's another version that has the red plate in the middle, and then the black one, like this one, next to it, and then this red one again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have that one made too because I have to have both versions.
Of course.
Because my home state territory is Florida. So
Yep.
that's what I'm going to represent. And I got some stuff made, more cases coming in where I'm gonna have a whole section for championship wrestling from Florida, and on top of that, I'll have a 3D um, logo made out for different whatever territories, could be Mid Atlantic, Mid South, or whatnot.
Sure.
So it's
Now, the Southern title, the Tennessee version, was a different design and an entirely different belt and lineage. They did not have a Tennessee title.
right,
Um, they had a Southern title that was their singular singles championship.
right,
Jerry Lawler held that
and
like 52 times.
yeah, and they also had a red stripe on the leather of theirs, I believe, too.
There was like a mid-America kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
Um, and the belt changed, I'm sure, from time to time. And then, of course,
right.
I know the story that because Cornette has told it that Nick Goulas in Nashville just had a desk drawer of belts.
Oh,
And if he
really?
needed to get a guy over, he would just open the desk drawer and say, "Here, look, you're now the brass knuckles champion." Whatever.
So that must be what Tony Khan gets it from.
Ah,
It makes sense now. We
it
have
does.
finally cracked it open. It makes sense why AEW has so many championship belts. Is because he's trying to be like Nick Goulas. He's
Nick.
trying to get his guys over, give them a championship belt.
Oh, if only if there was a Tony Khan child wrestler like George Goulas, that would just be, then it would just be cemented. Um,
Oh, wow.
but yeah,
Yeah,
and Nick Goulas was notorious for being extremely cheap on payoffs and just a rotten human being. And Tony Khan is generous, some say to a fault,
right.
and is viewed as generally a nice guy. Um,
And you know what? And we might not like the product they produce all the way around, but I
right.
will say that as we talked earlier, that if it wasn't for Tony Khan, starting up a company and, like we said, overpaying a lot of guys,
Yep.
that a lot of guys in WWE probably wouldn't get as much as they get. They get paid and have a little bargaining tools because of it. So I bet he's the most biggest baby face in WWE is Tony Khan. You know,
In it because again, that's the threat. Now I saw a story, and I don't know if it's fake news, just clickbait, or if it was legit, but I saw that Randy Orton had just re-signed and said that this was going to be his last contract. I didn't see it in any other sources other than just this one little Facebook thing, but
right?
that he was toying with the idea of jumping to AEW, and I hadn't heard that
Wow,
anywhere else. But again, that's that's how you do it.
right?
If I
Yeah, you
don't
make
get
them think.
yeah,
Yeah,
if I don't get my price, I know where
I'm
I
gonna
can get
go.
my price. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
this is where having representation helps, okay?
sure.
Because you can honestly say as the wrestler. Now let's say I'm the head of WWE and Casey, you're the wrestler who wants to leave. And you have an attorney who's talked to Tony Khan, but I could say, "Casey, have you talked to Tony Khan about money?" And the answer is no.
Yeah,
I have not had one conversation with the man. I haven't talked contract. I haven't talked money with anybody else. Just my
right,
agent has. Well, they don't say that part.
right, right,
So these
right.
negotiations happen behind the scenes with third parties. And here's
Right.
a neat little story. Remember when the Radicals jumped to WWE?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that was the first time, to my knowledge, that it was discussed internally in the office the way that it was, that we were going to really put a full court press on getting these guys to jump. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And that there was creative for them and they had all kinds of ideas and they just wanted them because of the perception. So
Right.
we reached out to, and I can't remember who, but I remember like they said, Kevin, you're a Florida guy and you can help with Dean Malenko. And I can't
Really?
remember, yeah, and I can't remember who I talked to, but I talked to somebody who then I put in touch with somebody else so that they could speak for Dean.
Oh, really? Oh, you could,
Yeah,
because when you're under contract, you can't talk directly to someone.
and the WWE could not because then they would
Right.
be guilty of tampering. And both
Right.
WCW and WWE had kind of gone back and forth with suing each other over tampering charges. So
Right.
technically,
Yeah.
this wasn't tampering, but it was in the spirit of tampering.
Right.
And it was
Correct.
just to find out more of what his interest was.
Yeah.
And I think the word that came back was, well, I'm going to do what these guys do, you know? So it's
But they
interesting
gave
how,
Chris Benoit the WCW World Title too, didn't they?
yep, knowing full well that he had already given his notice and wanted to leave.
Yeah, and that was Kevin Sullivan that did that.
Why do you think he did that?
Well, I mean, talking to Kevin after the fact, years later, he says he thought he was deserving of it, which, no one can deny that Chris Benoit, the wrestler,
Oh, yeah.
was made when he was on the card, he made everyone work harder because
Yes,
he made his opponent and everyone had to step up their game because he just was that good and just
yep,
worked that hard.
he sure did.
Yeah,
And I'll take the other side of the coin. If you want to make somebody who is getting ready to leave feel guilty about leaving and maybe ding his reputation a little bit, you put a title on him right before he leaves.
right. Yeah,
Then he has to give it up. And now he looks selfish.
right.
I'm not saying that that was Kevin's motivation in putting the belt on Benoit,
Yeah.
but if I was in that seat and in that same position, I would think that way. And you
You know,
can't do it with you got to the right personality because Benoit was a very respectful gentleman. He
Yeah.
was he and Dean and Eddie. We were in Raleigh, North Carolina. My mom lived in Raleigh. I brought her over the hotel to have brunch,
Mhm.
and I didn't go over and say hi to them or anything, but all three of them came over, and seeing the woman
Oh,
with me, they assumed that it was my mother. And they were
yeah.
like, "Good morning. We just wanted to come over and introduce ourselves. We
Well,
This
that's
is your
cool.
son?" "Yes." "So hi, I'm Dean. I'm Chris. I'm Eddie. It's so nice to meet you." Blah 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 blah.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, they were just gentlemen. And
Yeah.
that's the way Chris always was around all of us. Again, none of us ever suspected anything, and we were all shocked when this
I
story came out.
remember doing TV. I think we were at Universal by now, and of course, we had no um, catering at all,
Yeah.
but we did have a trainer. But the trainer did not like to help anyone unless you were a contract guy. And I remember one time
Okay.
my back was you know, um, kind of tight, this and that, and I guess the little group it was Regal, Benoit, the Armstrongs. I was in that little, changing in that area, and Chris is like, "What's going on?" I said, just we're wrestling a lot of matches. I'm taking a lot of big bumps and stuff. Putting making all the guys look good. The train. You go to the trainer just blows you off. He's like, "Oh, I'll take care of that." Yeah. He pulled that trainer to the side and ripped him up one side down the other and said, "You take care of all these guys. You're not here just for us. You're here for everyone that's here. They work
Wow.
for this company too." And I swear to God, as soon as I came through the curtain at Gorilla, he was there to cut the tape off my wrist.
That's
You need
awesome.
that? You need rolls of tape? You need any? I mean, he was like, I guess, I guess Regal and especially Benoit
Yeah.
really, put the fear of God into him to, you know what, you're going to take care of these guys,
As it should
and
be.
it totally changed after that.
Suitably chastened, he was.
Yeah.
Uh, I saw a story this week that the Ultimate Warrior went to bat for the women that were on a tour that he was on.
Oh,
That
really?
he found out that how poorly they were being paid, and he of course knew what he was making, and was like, "Oh no, 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 no! You need to pay them more. You need to give them more, or
Oh,
I'm not
wow.
going on."
Oh, really? And he wouldn't go because that's him.
That's him. Didn't
Yeah.
have to, and it's not like the girls went crying to him. It just came up in conversation,
Right. Yeah.
and he was when he heard about it, he was floored. He couldn't believe it,
Right.
and he had no problem going over and standing up. That's what you do when you're a leader. Warrior always got a
Sure.
bad rap, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in moments like that, that's who the real person is.
Well, because people aren't going to tell about those moments because it doesn't fit the
No,
narrative of him being an ass and, all for himself and stuff like that.
right. It's he just had a different view on the business. Like Brock
Right.
Lesnar has a different view on the business. Always has.
Right.
And that's why it's so refreshing when I see how he gets over on them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because he's not a mark. He doesn't stick
Right. Yeah.
around. You're done. I'm going home. Call me when you got
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. And it,
I
it
I
works
love
for
that.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I saw now getting back to the belts. So Tony Khan fashions up a national title. And
Yeah.
of course, the NWA had a national title, which is one of the
Right.
belts that was in Georgia and it was in the Carolinas. And it
Mid
was a pretty,
Atlantic,
yeah, that's what I mean. Mid
Crockett's.
Atlantic, it was a
Yeah.
Crockett belt.
Yeah. Right.
It was in Georgia for a while, and it was a pretty prominent belt in the NWA. The
Yeah.
United
Sure. It was
States, the United States heavyweight title, the NWA version of the United States heavyweight title, was the premier singles title underneath the world title.
Right.
But then it was the national title.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan, I guess, had a conversation with Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
And they talked about the lineage and the title, and I guess they came to some sort of understanding. I'm not sure if they came to an understanding, Casey, or if they just, agreed to disagree.
Right.
I'm not sure.
I
I don't
mean,
know how that story.
I saw people online like, "Oh, NWA Corgan's gonna sue them." Can they really sue for something that's been, um, what's the word when they dis um,
Bastardized, devalue.
I mean, not that they don't even use that belt anymore, right?
No, well, they do currently.
Oh, they have it in NWA?
Yeah, and there is a national
Oh,
heavyweight
okay.
champion. It's Mike
They have a
Mondo
national, a TV, a tag team, a
and a world
worlds. Wow. Well, that's not bad,
and a
I
women's.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got the world title, a secondary singles, tag, and a women's title.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah.
Um, can we name all of age? Can we name all of AEW's titles?
Oh my gosh.
Don't they
I
have a national, international, intercontinental,
well,
interworld, global, transgender?
so there were 3. There was the ROH title, there was the Continental title, and there was the international title that I think they all merged into one.
Oh, really?
And I think that's the title that Okada holds. Don't quote me on any of this. I am not sure. Um,
Yeah, because someone's gonna say, "Oh, you work there, you should know all this
you should
stuff."
know it. And it's Andrade,
It's
Johnny.
all the TikTok people that like to
Right.
have all those comments.
Eh. Let them have their fun. Like Trump when he
Yeah.
stood there with Mandami, and the reporters are like, "You called him whatever. What did they call? What did he call Trump? Nazi, something." And Trump's like, "It's okay. Just say yes. They won't believe
Yeah.
you anyway." He doesn't
Right.
care.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um, it was the oh gosh, what other titles do they have? Um,
They have a TV. They have a
well,
TBS and a
they have a
TNT.
TBS TNT. Um, they have a. Do they have a trios title?
Yes.
They have a regular
Yeah.
tag title.
So they have 3, 5, 7, 9, 10.
Yeah,
They have an international title, don't they?
yeah, I think that's one of the belts that was merged.
Oh, okay.
I'm
And
not
now this
sure.
new title, the national title, correct me if I'm wrong, what I've heard is it's not really gonna be used on AEW TV, it's just gonna be used all around the world on different shows or something? Doesn't really make much sense, but
Here's
okay.
here's me making my eye.
Yeah,
I've heard this umpteen different times and umpteen different ways. The
right.
last time I heard it was New Japan with the TV title, which was an ugly ass belt, ugly belt. And they said, "Oh, this
AEW's?
no, New Japan. New Japan had
Oh,
they
okay.
they started their own TV title that all the
Right.
matches were going to be 15-minute time limits. Okay, good. And they were going to be so if let's say Zack Sabre Jr., who was the champion, was he the first? I think he was the first. Um, if he's wrestling on a show in England and he's defending that title, we will put that title on New Japan. We'll put that match on New Japan World. So
Oh, really?
so fans could see every title match
Right.
for the NJPW World TV title,
Sounds like they're just
and
trying
that
to
it was
get
going to be.
content.
I agree with that. I agree with that portion of it. I don't even think that belt's talked about anymore. I
Oh,
just
wow.
I just don't. They made such a big deal of it, and it's an idea to have another tournament. And if you have a tournament with it's like how many tournaments can you do? And tournaments, as Cornette says, lazy booking. A tournament is easy
Right. Yeah.
because it.
Right.
But what's the prize? I don't know. I'd rather
Someone
somebody
else.
I'm a fan.
Someone else bag weighing 10 more pounds every time they go
Yeah.
somewhere.
How about this? What if they gave away a Cadillac or a car, Tesla? And, they used to do Cadillac tournaments back in the day. And yeah, the boys would assume the lease on the caddy, whatever. Um, but wouldn't it be cool to win a Tesla? Wouldn't it be cool to win
Yeah.
a fancy sports car? That'd be awesome.
It's not like back
Hangman
in the
Page.
territory days being an NWA World Champion, you get a percentage of the house, every work
No.
time you work.
It's a interesting visual, that's for sure. Let me ask you this about
Yeah.
title belts, and I was going to ask you this before. Um, so Jack Briscoe, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, won the championship in '73, correct?
Mhm.
73 or 4? 73.
Yeah.
Beat Harley Race for it in Houston. When he won that title, it was red leather, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When did they change to the black leather?
I think when he lost it, probably. I
I
don't recall seeing anyone else with the red leather besides Jack Briscoe.
Right. And I wonder I see if I looked it up, I bet I could find a picture with Jack Briscoe holding the black leather NWA world title. Maybe they changed it
And
midstream
I
in
believe the
his
red leather also had a buckle on the back of it. Not
really.
the Yeah, I believe. Um, I had to look at some of I look at a lot of those pictures and try to, looking at different belts I like and stuff like that, and try to, find belts out there that are pretty close to what it's supposed, ring accuracy and all
Hmm.
that stuff.
So and I think it was Ron Fuller that told this story. Um, when Jack Briscoe became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, he won the championship in Houston, Texas. It was a Paul Bosch promoted show. So
Oh wow.
either he came back to Georgia first. Like that was his first assignment. And Gordon Soley, who was the announcer for both Georgia and Florida, played a little
Right.
ha-ha on the new champion Jack, who had to write a check for a security bond for the title.
Oh, the $25,000 or
Yep.
something. Yeah.
Well, they were in the hallway, I guess, at TBS, and Gordon kind of nudged the belt in its suitcase, like behind a door or something like that, to where Jack couldn't see it, and he had just
Right.
won it,
Right.
and he's like, "Where's my belt?"
Oh
And
wow, that's
and
funny.
Gordon's like, I don't know, pal. I haven't seen it. Wait a
Oh,
minute,
that's
here it is.
funny.
You know, Whew. Um, but there was pressure to make sure that nobody double crossed you, and you couldn't lose it. Yeah, I thought about that.
Right.
Remember a few years ago when Jericho was a champion in AEW and he left the belt in a taxi or something.
You remember MLW had a show, right? And someone walked into the back and stole I think at the War Memorial when they're running there, someone walked into the
Oh,
back and just stole the belt. Just took it and left.
Jesus.
I
Now,
remember that whole thing. I think it was pretty funny.
man, and again, the boys just leave the belts most of the time just laying on a chair
Oh, they
wherever they're.
flop it down. It's
Yeah,
all over the place. Yeah.
it's in their suitcase or it's just tossed on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not like a special Halliburton that the belt goes in.
No. And you know what? The the person who hold well, my experience, it might change now because, the wrestler mentality has changed over the years. But when you won the title, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay. I mean, yeah, it's cool and everything, but you have to carry that everywhere and you have to be responsible for it. And you're like, I don't want to do that. Do I have to? You know,
I don't want to
they
do any
might
of this.
they might care about it more now than back in the day.
When you have a oh, there's the chat's going on too. I moved the chat window when we were little guys there on the side.
Oh yeah, mine's been
And
closed too.
um Scott dash W2K2I or L says nice belts. I guess there was a long time. I guess it was a long pay-per-view last night. I'm not sure. Um,
Oh, I seen someone said, "Is it still going on?"
um, it's it's interesting when you look at what people value today and what is the way times have changed and the perception of things because when you were a
Yeah,
champion, right? It meant it meant something, but at the same time, it was drudgery. Now, you may have heard this story. Paul Bearer had told it famously over the years that him carrying the urn was a rib on him
I'm sure. Yeah.
because he had to he could never check the urn. It always had to be in his carry-on, and he had to take it out every time they scanned his bag, and they took it out, and it's like, oh my God, it's an urn.
Why
Oh,
didn't
it's
they
an
just put it in the
urn.
ring truck?
I I don't. I think there was probably like you can't put it. I could hear Bruce. You can't put that in the ring truck. What if
You
the
gotta
ring truck
carry
breaks
that.
down? What if the ring truck
Yeah.
breaks down? And Paul would say, Percy would say, what if the plane crashes? And Bruce would probably say, well, the chances of a plane crash are a lot less than the truck breaking down. I could just hear it. So yeah, those there is a source of pride when you are a champion, and yes, there is responsibility as that champion. But tagging around with that
Hey, we're
10 pounds of gold is a rib.
yeah. Were you there when Big Show started WWF?
Yes.
Now, I was listening today that Undertaker had a rib where no one was allowed to talk to him. Do you remember that? And I mean, like if you go to the catering and sat down, everyone at the tables just got up and left. No
Oh,
one
there
was allowed to
was
talk to him.
so
And Big Show is very emotional person too.
yes. It wasn't easy. They did not make it easy on him. And I don't know why. Um, but there was always first it was Mark Henry. Then
Oh, he
next it
got
was
tortured for a while
yeah,
too.
then next it was Big Show. And I think it
Yeah.
probably had to do with the fact that they both got guaranteed money. That's
Oh,
probably all
okay.
it
Yeah.
was, right? And because I know Big Show got $1 million guaranteed. That was his first contract.
When
Million a year.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
So,
that and you know what? Being the first person to have that, you're gonna get a lot of heat from guys that have been there busting their ass to build
oh
the
yeah,
company up, and you just stroll right in and like get the money. Like, here I come.
Mark Merrow was dead the day he signed the contract, 350 a year guaranteed. He was making more than the Undertaker and Bret Hart.
Wow.
He was cooked. They had to give
Yeah.
Taker and Bret Hart a raise, deservedly so, but that was a Vince
Right.
negotiated deal because he was mesmerized by Sable. Good on Mark for bringing her.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so things like that,
Have you
and
seen
yeah,
him lately? Have you
Mark,
seen Mark Merrill lately?
he looks the
I've seen some
same.
pictures of No, no. He looks very, very old now in his pictures.
Really?
The hair looks yeah, look up online sometimes just recently. He his hair and his face just looks really old in some just lately I saw some pictures up on somewhere online and I was like, wow. And I said, is that Mark Merrill? And I looked and I saw it again and I'm like, wow. Yeah, he does look a little weathered.
Well, yeah.
Oh wow.
He's got a book that's out. I'm trying to. Oh yeah. So that's his
Yeah.
book. And I mean, yeah,
Apparently
but
I've
he's
been having our live stream go the whole time on our
hell,
phone, on my phone.
hell yeah.
I don't know how or why.
Um, I would say for Mark Marrow being in his what 60s,
Yeah, he has to be in his 60s.
he looks pretty damn good. And I saw he just got married or engaged. Either way, congrats.
Oh, yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah, that's one of the pictures I saw.
yeah. Are you ever gonna get married again?
Me?
Yeah.
I had to get divorced first.
Oh,
Oh, no, I had to ask her, "Hey, are we gonna get married one day?" She didn't answer me. I wonder if she's gonna be out there when I come out.
I don't know.
I'll have to ask her.
Yeah. Friend of mine just got engaged today, and
Geez, Kevin, put me on the spot here.
I gotta ask. These are the questions.
Yeah, you can
When
definitely tell that we don't plan anything in our shows.
no, um, again, it's when you marry in the wrestling business, it's very difficult, and
Yeah,
we know the percentages of people who get divorced is pretty high, and those
really
of us
high.
in the
Yeah.
wrestling community, well, I never got divorced, pretty close, but um, it
Oh, what
was
did you do?
oh, brother, what didn't I do? Mostly just being dumb. Um, just I was so like hyper focused on my career and what I was doing that I blocked everything else out. I saw everything else as a distraction,
Yeah,
and I missed a lot of stuff.
gotcha.
I kicked myself for
Yeah,
that. But and nobody can really other people in the business understand it. But
sure, yeah.
my wife didn't understand it. Well, I
Yeah,
thought it
because
was
sometimes that's what it takes to make it in the business,
right.
you know?
I was in I was told Chief Jay Strongbow said, "Don't ever take a vacation. Somebody could take your spot while you're away."
Yeah, that's the
Damn.
really old school mentality of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, "It's a good
It's like
idea,
why
Chief."
all the wrestlers worked injured and stuff because out of sight, out of mind. You're not there, someone else is gonna take your spot, and it could end up just staying their spot.
So here's another thing, and this could be a topic for a full show. We'll just touch on it a little bit today. Um, there was this viral video that was going around with. I didn't watch it. I only saw the Twitter beef that ensued around this video, but it was.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was organized backyard wrestling or it was just guys horsing around, taking a bunch of crazy bumps, right?
Mm.
Like I saw somebody get thrown off of something high. I saw dudes taking big back bumps like on carpeted
Oh,
floor,
wow.
and it's like,
Oh.
ow. And
Mm.
Will Osprey said something to the effect of, "Oh, I wholeheartedly endorse this. It's just guys having fun." To which Jim Cornette came in and said over
Oh,
the
boy.
top, "Well, the other side of the coin, here it comes. And this is the reason why you're in the hospital, having just had neck surgery at 32 years
And
old."
how old is he?
He's 32.
Okay, yeah.
And then Ricochet comes in and says, "Well, how come all the guys from your generation have had to have hips and knees replaced, but not at 32?"
Ricochet, because they wrestled 7 days a week there, bud,
Yeah,
not just once a week, if that.
yeah.
And there's a big difference.
There, it it was wear and tear, mostly
Yeah,
wear.
sure.
Anytime you're a professional athlete, um, your hips, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders, whatever joint it is,
Yeah,
are going to get worn down and
right.
through
Yeah,
repetitive action, not injury, not injury. Now, if and it didn't happen too often, but if a wrestler, a football player, somebody would have torn an ACL back in the 60s, that might be it.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And arthroscopic surgery prolonged a lot of careers because they were able to go in without opening up the whole knee and go
yeah,
in, inflate it, poke around camera, cut out the little piece of meniscus that was
yeah.
torn, and you could get back on the field a lot sooner without this big
Oh, it
open.
sucks when that happens with that little flap gets caught, your knee locks
Oh,
out, you can't bend it. Oh,
that's it.
and those some rings when you run, they bounce, and if you don't run in the right way it bounces against you and it just jams your knee
Yeah.
every time you running it pops up and just jams it and everything. So yeah, it's
That
where's
was
my
an injury.
daughter?
I remember that was an injury Kenny Omega had. Um, and again, it's just wear and tear, but had a
Yeah,
meniscus issue and his knee locked up. And it
yeah,
was super painful. Oh my gosh. He was in agony. And he's trying to
yeah.
wrestle through it, of course.
Of course,
Um,
yeah.
so the whole debate, I felt like, I understand what Will's point of view is, but it's too different. And then for Ricochet to come back the way he did, it's like, no, man.
And
Bobby Eaton had
Cornette
to
probably
have,
lives for this. He loves this when this happens.
of course, because they just, I mean, it was you think before you speak. Casey, you have a bad neck,
Mm,
and you injured yourself. You were injured,
sure. Yeah.
and you wrestled injured, and you
Hmm.
had to have surgery as a result of that. Okay,
Right.
but we're not talking about that when you get a hip or a knee replaced.
Yeah.
Mick Foley threw himself off of everything that he could and landed on his hip unprotected. And of course, he had to have his hip replaced and his knee replaced.
Right.
He destroyed his body to get over.
Oh
But
yeah.
the wrestlers, by and large, the Roddy Pipers of the world, uh, I think of him. It's like Piper just wore his body down
Yeah.
and was like just like any pro athlete. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
The difference with I think the difference with wrestling is that most professional sports is they take breaks. It's not nonstop.
Right.
Wrestling, you're out there 15. If you're wrestling a 15-minute match, you're going the whole time. My daughter's texting me.
What up, Busy?
I guess it must be for the Christmas list.
She's sending her Christmas list already.
Oh, Christmas is almost here.
Oh,
Thanksgiving's next weekend.
I know Thanksgiving is, well, it's this
It's
weekend coming
crazy,
up.
isn't it?
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to be doing some announcing this coming Friday.
Oh, isn't it in Kentucky or
No,
somewhere?
Mobile,
I saw.
Alabama.
Oh, that's right, Alabama. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I think I'm going to see Scott Armstrong.
Really?
I think he's involved in
Oh,
this promotion. And
oh,
if I
wow.
do see him, I will send along your best regards.
Yeah, and grab his phone number because I like to talk to him.
I will. I definitely
Because
will.
how the wrestling business, you lose everyone's numbers over
Sure.
time, and so I know Steve. I've heard um has something wrong with him. His health is not good at all, which
Mm,
is real sad because he was always, the whole Armstrong family were just super, super nice guys.
yeah.
Great. I mean, just good old boys.
Hmm. They
So
were
just like
great.
their dad was, and
Sure.
that's how they were raised and everything. And
Yep.
but
So I'm going to be down
someone
there
else,
for.
I think Sarge was telling me that Steve, I don't, was he have Parkinson's or ALS or
Mm,
something like that. He's not doing well.
Parkinson's again is one of those neurological things that can happen as a
Yeah.
result of contact.
Yeah.
Soccer, football, wrestling, boxing,
Yeah.
MMA. There's going to be, and there are going to be a lot of wrestlers. As like you think, so Samoa Joe just won the AEW World Title. He's 46 years old. I think WWE's champion. CM Punk's 47. Um, you know that
Wrestling's so
generation of
much later
guys.
nowadays.
Yeah, that generation.
And I think that, and like we were just talking about, I think it's because the workload is not as extreme that now they're able to wrestle longer and later in life
Yeah.
because they haven't put that much damage to their body.
Yeah, I think they're pretty damaged. I just think that there's better science behind recovery now.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if some of that science would have been around when you were wrestling, like you had to struggle just to get seen by a trainer. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
Guys would go home now and they go to like massage therapy and they go and have this shiat
Cryotherapy and
yeah,
hyperbaric
cryotherapy, hi-
chambers. Yeah.
all of these things that didn't exist 20 years ago.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And or it
Now
was
we
like
just took pain pills.
which y'all just took somas. That's it.
Yeah, Somas and, Percocets, you
My
know?
muscles are tight.
I remember the
Take
one
them.
time I remember one time I wrestled, um, on a bunch of Somas. The
Oh
one only
God.
time I did it, it was, of course, Hack Myers was in the match with me, and, Kevin Sullivan, and I forget who else was, maybe Dave Johnson,
Oh jeez.
and I know me, Kevin, and Hack all took, Somas, and woo! Man, I was probably the stiffest I ever wrestled in my life because I couldn't see or everything was like, "Whoa, oh, boom." I was probably and, tagging Kevin, and Kevin was definitely tagging me in that, and, yeah, it was a fun match, but yeah, I don't recommend that at all. Kids,
Don't
don't
do
take
that.
Somas and wrestle.
No. Kids,
Save the Somas
if
for
you're
after
gonna
the show.
yeah, if you're gonna take somas, wait
Yeah.
until the show's over.
You
And
know,
you were
take
probably
Somas
on
responsibly.
yes, like grown adults. Um,
Yeah.
you probably had taken the fewest somas of everybody involved in that match.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely, sure about that,
You might have had
you know?
3, 4.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think I can count as high as what Hack
Heck,
what Hack would take.
probably like a baker's dozen. Jesus.
Kevin was
Um,
always like, "Hey, you got any of those, gimmicks with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, Kevin." "Oh, okay." And, he'd always take, I think it's an old school thing, he'd always take any kind of pain pill with, um, like a mini thing, like a Ephedrine or something like that, It's sort of like taking Percocets or Vicodins with 5 hours, you know?
yeah.
I guess you know, which was funny is I used to do that too. I take my pain medicine and take a 5 hour with it. I guess all in honor of Kevin Sullivan.
That's right. Pour one out for Kev.
You
All
know what's
right. Well,
crazy? Out of all the stuff we've talked about, in the wrestling business, everything, all this crazy stuff. The story that I told last week about one of the shorts was about when I up in Chicago wrestling with Joe Laurinaitis. Animal and how I sat on my mask and broke it.
yeah.
And then he got up and was like, "Oh, you have a sleeping problem. You snore and all this stuff." It got flagged on TikTok and they wouldn't air it for some reason. It violated their policy. And I was trying to think. I said I cursed once, but I curse all the time in the show, and it's on all kinds of stuff. But they flagged it and wouldn't put it up. So I guess someone is very sensitive about sleep apnea on
It
TikTok.
probably is. Maybe
Apparently,
the
those
the
Chinese
TikTok.
people don't like that. I guess.
Yeah, they probably don't understand it. Or it could have been that animal was bullying you. I mean that he was
Oh, you know what? Yeah, because he coming you know what? You're right, they are big about bullying and stuff like that. Oh, that's probably it.
so
That's
as I
crazy.
remember the story, animal got up early and he wrote
Go to the
you a
airport.
note. He had to go to the airport. So before he went to the airport, he wrote you a note
No, no, he
that
woke me up.
no, Casey. He wrote you a note that said,
Yeah.
"Dear Casey, um, I enjoyed seeing you again. I did want to alert you to the fact that I heard you snoring last night. I hope you rested well."
Yeah, that
Signed,
was,
your friend, Joe Laurinaitis. Just like that,
yes.
right?
Yeah, it's sorta like, he wrote the note, "You got a fucking problem, bro. Keep like fucking snoring. You have sleep apnea." It
So
was
I
I
you may
your
not remember
interpretation's
this.
pretty close. Yeah.
You told me that story long before we did this podcast because we were talking about having sleep apnea,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you had told me that one, and I was like, "Oh my god," because I slept on your couch and had just gotten my machine, and I was like,
Oh.
"Hell
Oh,
yeah,
down in
that's
South
right,
Florida, yeah.
that's right."
Wow.
I could sleep anywhere with that mask. As soon as I put it on,
Oh, yeah.
out. I am out.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And speaking of which, I need to get out because I got to get up early.
Yeah. I
I got to
guess
do.
next week we will discuss.
Oh shit! Another prize. Now, Casey, I did not know when you showed me the pictures of the Southern title and Florida title that that was also part of the haul of your bidding.
Oh,
Correct?
that?
Well, I didn't know that the banner was you had gotten that as well.
Oh, and I got that myself. I wanted it
Oh,
just because we're hanging up, because that's where the big boys played and I played there. So, it's
that is where.
fitting that I have it, right?
That's right.
So,
It,
but
I liked. Yeah, and we can talk about that next week. I will be back, of course. I leave Friday morning. Um, I fly to New Orleans because the ticket prices going to Mobile were ridiculous. I fly to New Orleans, then
oh,
I'm going to drive
yeah.
to Mobile. Then after the show, right
Oh,
back to
okay.
New Orleans. I said I don't even need a hotel. I'm just going to sit at the airport for a couple of hours and then get on the 6 a.m. flight back home. I'll be home by noon on Saturday, so we'll be good to
You
go
were
for.
always a very easy person for bookings, very accommodating,
Yeah,
you know?
whatever. I
Yeah.
was I was a little I don't want to say stern, but I was a little bit like, no, I need to fly Delta because it's the only airline I have status on, and this is like Thanksgiving weekend, and if
Oh,
anything goes
yeah.
sideways with these flights, I have no
What
choice.
is
I
it, a
have no
promotion
way
with
of getting
TD up
home.
there? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
right.
have local TV in Mobile, Diamond Championship
Okay.
Wrestling, and here's the cool thing. Um, the arena is named after Bullet Barb Armstrong, right?
Really?
And yes, um, and he was there, and Scott, of course, is there, and so it's like family. They signed off on it. They gave it the blessing,
Really?
and so
Wow.
it's affectionately called the Bullet. So that's where we're
Really? Oh,
announcing from.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
and they took
Oh,
this.
that's cool.
I don't know what the building was, but they have retrofitted this thing, and it's got a nice high ceiling, and it could easily hold, I would say, 1,000 people, maybe
Oh,
750.
it's perfect. Perfect
Yeah,
size.
and it looks great. They've got it air conditioned, and because you need to have that. Um,
Yeah.
and oh man, like the first time I was there, it was May, and it was getting swampy. It was,
Oh, really?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
steamy. And so this will be my first time back. I'm announcing with Joe Dombrowski, a good friend of mine,
Okay.
who's the voice of
Yeah.
MLW, who's doing work in Mexico. Carmen Michaels is the ring announcer. So
Oh,
we're going to have some great announced talent and me. And it's going to be a fun show. It's available on pay per view if fans want to check it out. And I'll put up the Facebook link again. I shared it last week. You won't know any of the wrestlers. That's okay. It'll just be a fun show that you'll enjoy. That'll make sense
yeah.
because Scott Armstrong is involved in it.
Oh, cool.
So there you
That
go. And
sounds
I'll
fun.
definitely get his number for you. Give your
Yeah,
number
tell
to
him I said
him.
hi and the whole. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
we talk about the Armstrongs lovingly all the time. Um,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, there's
okay.
just a great bunch of guys, so why not, right?
Oh, sure. Um, yeah, and it's amazing the success that the family has had and how they've dealt with tragedy and
Yeah.
how they've dealt with the ups and downs of the wrestling business and
Yeah.
persevered.
And
We
plus,
were
I'm in
talking
that club, that very small club that's wrestled all the Armstrongs. So hey, why not? So
a lot of guys could say they wrestled the Suns, but not a lot of guys could say they wrestled the Bullet and the Suns.
yeah, yeah.
So,
There you go.
um, yeah, you're in good company there. All right, so that's going to do it for this edition of the In Ring Wrestling Podcast. Of course, the conversation continues. Social media, especially on TikTok, go ahead with your hate. Go ahead with
Yeah.
your criticisms and your critiques. I don't see them. I've got to figure out this TikTok thing. Anyway, but of course, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Clicking that bell, that subscribe button, that like really helps the algorithms. Don't know why, it just does. So it helps the show organically grow. And remember, we're on our way to 1,000.
That's
So
right.
there we go. Um, and again, Casey, thank you so much. Thanks for opening up your home, showing your championship belt collection. I think it's beautiful, and I can't wait to see how it grows over time.
Oh yeah. The thing is, I'm so impatient. I just want it all right now.
Give me.
So
I'm going to overbid. I'm going to outbid myself just to make sure I win.
I'm done with. That's my last thing there. I'm just getting made from belt makers now. So, but it's all about. I want all territory stuff. That's what I'm like. I want to have the biggest uh territory wrestling belt collection out there. So
That'd be
that's my
amazing.
yeah. That's fun.
It's
You know,
always fun.
relive
All
my
right.
childhood.
There we go. You get the Bahamas title. You can have Tyree Pride sign off on that one.
It's on my list.
Hey,
Yes,
I
sir.
figured. All right. So
And
that
the
will do it
United
for this.
States tag team.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I got a list of all of them. Yeah.
All right. So for Kevin Kelly and of course the show's creator Casey Thompson, we thank you so much for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody in the U.S. And we will see you next Sunday night live for another edition of the In Ring Wrestling Podcast.